Thomas. I was reaching out because you had spoke with one of our team members about selling your property on Rose Meadow Drive.
Hey, yeah, how are you?
Good. Probably caught you at a bad time?
I probably got about...
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today, I'm going to be breaking down a call from one of our team members, Thomas, that he had with the seller. So I'm going to break down everything from the introduction, his pitch, and then the outcome of the call. So stay tuned. You don't want to miss this.
Give it up for my guy, Max and Sarasor, Jimenez, baby! Woo!
Hey, it's Thomas. I was reaching out because you had spoke with one of our team members about selling your property on Rose Meadow Drive.
Hey, yeah, how are you?
Good. Probably caught you at a bad time?
I probably got about 6 minutes, man. Is that okay?
Yeah. Well, like I said.
All right, so far, so good. Basically, the introduction was, hey, it's Thomas. You spoke to one of our team members about selling your property, and he gave the address and asked him, probably caught you at a bad time. He said, no, I got about 6 minutes to talk. So far, we're doing really well right now. We got the prospect's attention. I would have probably questioned the timeline just a little bit, but the reason why I'm not making a big deal of that, because it turned from a 6-minute call to a 12-minute conversation. So let's find out what happens.
I was just reaching out real quick to see if I could ask you. I have some notes here, but just ask a few questions, see if I could fill in some of the gaps to see if we can make an offer on your property.
Now, guys, the one thing that prospects love is hearing themselves talk, right? Hearing themselves tell their story. So one thing that Thomas just did right there said, hey, I got notes, but honestly, I want to hear from you. I want to fill in the gaps. I want to hear what you have to say, so that way you and I can get on the same page. Essentially, that's what Thomas is doing here when he's telling him, do you mind if I ask you a few questions to fill in the gaps?
Not if that works for you.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, so this is your personal residence, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, personal residence, and then so how long have you lived at this or owned this one for?
I was the first owner. I had it since 2000, and I closed on May 15, 2007.
Okay, 2007. Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Okay, so really quick, couple things that Thomas did there is, what we did is we actually started with asking a few questions about the property first to get the prospect comfortable conversating with us. And what's the easiest way to do that is to get them to talk about the property, because it's non-invasive. It's not a personal question. So what it does, it allows them to open up. But the thing is that we don't want to go full blown into property condition and all that stuff right off the bat. We want to know what's going on. But a good way to get the prospect to start talking is by asking them a non-personal question, which is like, okay, is this a rental property? How long have you owned it? Is it currently occupied or vacant? And that's what Thomas is doing right now. So right now, the prospect sounds really comfortable with him so far. Let's see what happens through the rest of the call.
Okay, perfect. And then, so 2007. Okay, so why are you considering selling it then?
I get married on March 11th.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it right there. Finally found the first caution of this call is, why are you considering selling this, right? And the reason why I consider that a caution is because, think about it. All growing up, why did you leave the lights on? Why did you do that? Why did you do this? Why? So you have to really be careful when you ask them a why question. It should be more of, when you interject why, it should be more of a clarification, not a questioning, right? So in that case, what could have Thomas done different? Is he could have said, okay, sounds good. You own it about 17 years now, or since 2007, excuse me. What has you considering selling it? Curiosity, just trying to get an understanding. But he's done well so far. That's the only thing, right? Maybe it's a picking, but I always love to have a perfect call. So let's listen to the rest of the call here.
Next month, a couple weeks. My wife, future wife, she already sold her house, and I am considering. I'm open. I like the home, but I'm open right now just because there's a lot of changes happening anyway. So that's the only reason. And it was brought to me, and I was like, well, maybe. So I'm open to it, basically. A lot of people in the neighborhood are.
All right, so this seller is being kind of all over the place, a little wishy-washy. I'm open, considering this. He's trying to not give information, right? Which rightfully so. We just started the conversation. We've only been talking for less than 2 minutes. So, but he's being wishy-washy. So I want to see how Thomas handles this. What would you say? Tell me in the comment section, what would you say if a prospect is being wishy-washy with you? I'd love to hear your comments, and then I'll reply and help you to see if that's something that works for you or not. So here we go. Let's see what he says.
I'm selling now just because of, I guess just because as soon as they put it on, it's gone. So a lot of people.
Okay, so now the prospect's trying to sell Thomas, right? He's doing all the talking. Hey, as soon as you put it on the market, these properties don't last. Man, you got to go for it. You got to buy this house because I'm telling you right now. And so the prospect is flexing right now. Let's see what happens.
Taking advantage of this boom. So, and the potential to make a profit that some people are making, that's kind of the reason why I've only considered it, actually.
Okay. Yeah, no, perfect. Well, first, congrats on getting married, Sam. It's always a fun, good step.
I love that right there. That's a stroke. Beautifully done. I love that right there. Let's get him away from talking to the property. Let's give him a stroke. Hey, man, congratulations on getting married. Congratulations on your next step. And what that does is, believe me, strokes go a long way. When you give a prospect a stroke, a good compliment, a giddy up or whatever the case may be, like, it goes a long way. It pays dividends. I know this. I've done this so many times already. And I love that he did that right there. Got him away from the conversation of the property and they sell fast and all this stuff. Well, guess what that's going to do next? It should put his guard down. So let's hear and we'll see what happens. I love it. I love it so far.
Wow, but it's always fun. I like it too. I've been married for about 10 years, so it's a good.
I need to figure out what the secret is. There's a lot of people in this culture telling us don't do it. So, but
yeah. The secret is everybody's always like happy wife, happy life, but it's a double game, man. You know what I mean? Everybody's got to be happy. Both people. So it's fun, man. I always tell people, like, take all the advice that you get, just toss it out the window, and you just learn from your own situation.
That makes sense. That's probably the best advice right there.
Yeah. No, I always tell it. Learn for yourself. Same with having kids and everything like that. Learn it for yourself and everything.
Right.
Okay, so March. Okay, so are you looking to? Is there like a certain? Are you going to take this then and then? I know you're saying your fiance had sold her property.
Beautiful transition, guys. Like, the guy was so set on trying to flex the property sell fast, the property this, the property that. You put them on the market, they don't last. Gave him a stroke, congratulating him on getting married, took his mind off that whole, combative situation, and then moved the sell forward. Let's get away from that. Strokes work really well when it comes to those things. So let's hear the call.
So are you guys both currently living in this one then?
We are, yeah.
Okay. And then, so
January.
What was that? Oh, January? Okay. Okay, and then so you guys are going to, do you know where you're going to go if, when you sell this one and everything?
No, that's the reason why when the lady said it, I probably need, she said under 6 months agreement, I will probably need 3 months or something just to find it. But I'm assuming from the lump sum, I should be able to find.
We're now starting to get them open. We're getting personal, right? We basically asked him some few questions about the property. We asked, he got involved. You saw, he basically wanted to flex and let us know how fast the properties are selling, this and that. Thomas did a really good job on giving him a stroke, congratulating him, relating to him. Hey, I've been married for 10 years. Asked him a question about moving the sale forward, but it was a question based around a personal thing, like, where are you moving to? What's going to happen next? So let's continue the call and see what happens.
Even if I have to rent for a year, find something, someplace to go. Because right now, no, we wouldn't have a place to go. She sold hers, I would sell mine. So, like, if that was to happen, I would need to start making moves immedientely.
Yeah, no, we always like to ask because the way that we buy it, obviously, like we're flexible with the closing day and everything like that. So we always like to see if a person has a house or a next property lined up.
Beautiful transition. I love everything he's saying. One thing I would have done is use a third-party story here. Is like, hey, you know what? That's okay. In the past, here's something that we've done. I can tell you other homeowners that we've helped before in this situation. Here's what we've done with them, right? We were flexible with their timeline. There were some that we even let them stay even after we closed on the property, and they were extremely happy with that process. I'm assuming you wouldn't be open to something like that, because now it's a third party story that we've helped, and then we're not giving them the what is it called, the benefit or the feature directly to them. I would have just used the third party story, but it's good so far. Let's go.
Because if they do and they need like a 45-day close or a 60-day close or whatever, we can always work with the seller on that. That's one of our advantages of the.
So I love it. He's mixing it up a little bit with the third party, right? He's not saying if you need it, here's what we could do for you, here's what we could do for you. So I'm glad that he came around and brought that back to injecting that third party story.
The way that we work, it's not a traditional, conventional finance, like you need to be out of the house in 30-day type mark, or you're getting in some trouble type deal.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So, if you had like an ideal time frame, which you obviously was, so it's end of February, March. Okay. So, ideal time frame for you would be like 3 months then.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, it could be sooner. Just
yeah.
I just have to find somewhere to go, because
All right, I don't know if Thomas is going to ask this, but I'm going to jump in here. One thing I love to say is this. Okay, so the timeline that you just gave me, you said somewhere between now and 3 months. So let me ask you this. Are you wanting to have the process done and have your money in 3 months? Or are you wanting to start the process in 3 months? Because those are two different things. So now we're gonna see where he's at mentally. And I don't know if Thomas is going to go to that, but that's something I would have done when it comes to timelines.
when they called me, I was just like, there's other people that's called.
Yeah.
But for some reason, whoever they called, she was very personable, and I actually talked to her, and she seemed pretty cool. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm listening. But you get flyers and stuff in the mail all the time, and sometimes I don't know if they're scams. I'm not sure what it is, but I when I thought about
He's
it,
comfortable with him.
My wife made a good profit off of hers, and I was like, well, we could start over. You could almost just not have a mortgage if we put it all in there, but
yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, in the past, the clients that we work with, like they normally go with us over a conventional route because based off of a specific time frame or financial situation.
Okay, so here he's going into what we call our disqualifier in a way. But something I would have done here is I would have said, look, it sounds like you have a lot going on right now. One of the things I wanted to ask you, what is the perfect scenario for you? I mean, we've been talking now for the past, for the past 5 minutes. Really haven't heard too much indication on when you want to get this done or how soon you want to sell. If you had a magic wand, or if you drew up your perfect scenario, what would that look like as far as like starting from day one would be today to the end date? What would that look like for you? And let them kind of draw that up in their mind so they can tell you. Because right now he needs help. This seller needs help identifying that because he's got a lot of things going on. So as a closer, we need to solve that problem for him. And so let's go ahead and continue with the call.
Or like we even buy properties that need a lot of repairs sometimes, and they're not market ready and everything like that. So we work with all types of buyers and everything like that. Okay. So all right. So obviously.
So you see, so that's why I said what I said earlier, because now the prospect is like, okay, because he still can't wrap his head around when he wants to get this done. And so what I said earlier, what we're going to do is we're going to say, hey, dude, we're putting this back on you. We're not, the disqualifier is okay. It works when you have somebody who absolutely is not engaging, or it's not really about, having a conversation. They just want a number. That's when you can say, look, usually people that we buy homes from is usually they want to select a date of their choosing when they want to close. Sometimes there's some people who are in financial situations. A lot of them sell to us because the property needs a lot of repairs. I'm not hearing this with you right now, but in this case, I would have said, hey, what I said earlier. What you have a lot of, you have a lot going on. What does that perfect scenario look like for you to get this done, right? And so this is what happens because now this objection, it's easy for him to say, yeah, that's right. And so let's go ahead and hear the call, and then we'll wrap it up here.
Obviously, like most people that we we work with, they always want to know like when they get their money, like how much they'll get, and like how our process works. Is there anything else that you would like to learn on this call or like another call or anything about it?
Well, I mean, I assume that. I mean, if you're getting it to be at closing, the same thing. Is it like is there a check at closing, or is it like they'll send like direct deposit type of thing?
Yeah. So, do you currently have a mortgage on the property?
I do have a mortgage on the property.
Okay. Off ballpark. Do you know how much that is? Like off the top of your head, rough estimate?
Roughly like 98,000 or so.
Okay. Yeah. So obviously, you know, I mean, whatever offer we come up with, and if it's good for both parties and everything agrees, like obviously that would get paid off at, you know what I mean, at closing and everything, and then right after that, whether you wanted, some people like a cashier's check from the title company, and some people like direct deposit, whatever would be the remaining of that after that's paid off, that would go directly to you pocket wise and everything, as long as there's no other like liens or anything else you have to pay off on the house and everything.
All right, so right now the call's kind of going a little bit too fast now. If you noticed earlier, the call was slow, methodical, conversational. Now it sounds very transactional, very like, you know, asking questions that don't really matter at this point because, look, dude, like you don't even know when you want to get this started. Timelines are all over the place. Like, honestly, that's a page 12 conversation. I'm still trying to figure out what we're doing here on page 2 and 3. And I'll stop the call there. But definitely, I think what we need to do, so far, he did really well. Out of 10, I do about an 8 on this call. He missed some strategies and some things that I would have asked him. But overall, you know, again, the call flow was great all the way up to the part where the guy was just like didn't know what to say anymore, and he was just obviously that's when we need to help him. That's when we need to say, hey man, listen, you know, you got a lot going on, and I'm gonna repeat myself again here for the third time. You got a lot going on. You know, if you were to draw up the perfect scenario to get this done, how would that look like for you? If you had a magic wand, what would that look like for? What would be the perfect scenario that you would draw up? Because now we're gonna get him to say two things: either he's gonna tell us, or he's gonna say, honestly, I don't know yet. Okay, well, it sounds like maybe there's some things that we need to do, right? Maybe we should book a call with you and your significant other that you're about to marry, so that way we can all figure it out and move from there. But now the call is very transactional. The call's moving very fast, and we're trying to interject things that you know, that aren't really relevant to the call because there is no timeline to commitment. So, but I wanted to share this with you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment what were some of your favorite parts. And I'll see you guys on the other video. Later.